From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting Imperial Valley football on VSSSports.net, the Valley Sports Network, and the source for Imperial Valley sports. For John Moreno, this is Vic Carrillo here at Mount Carmel High School, here in the north end of the San Diego County, as the Central Spartans journey west to open up the 2022 campaign under the tutelage and direction of Coach David Rookie Peña. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the real deal, the master blaster, the voice of choice, your friend and mine, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, Vic, this is it, the 2022 season. And the Central Spartans have come to Mount Carmel in the season opener. Last night was something at Palo Verde when the Calexico Bulldogs traveled up to Blythe to take on the defending CIF Division V championship, only to be stopped in the third quarter with 10 minutes to go by lightning and power outages. That's the big story in the Valley today.
Well, you know, John, the thunderstorms and all that August muggy weather that comes in from the southeast didn't come into the Imperial Valley with a force that it had in Blythe in Riverside County and Yuma, Arizona. But unfortunately for the Calexico Bulldogs and the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets, that game was postponed until tomorrow. They'll continue on with the third and fourth quarter at Imperial High School, who has served as gracious hosts and agreed to
be the neutral side.
A neutral side of the football game. And so yours truly, John Moreno and Vic Carrillo, will be at Imperial tomorrow. Kickoff for the second half of football will be at 6 p.m.
But tonight, the vaunted Central Spartans are testing their talents for the first time in the 22 season against the Mount Carmel Sundevils. And the Spartans come loaded with a quarterback, Damian Rodriguez, his running backs, Charlie Sullivan, and his wideouts, Arturo Estrada, Nehemiah Perez, and a few others, Skylar Cook, to be exact.
Well, speaking of Skylar Cook on the defensive side, John, he's a returning all-CIF second-teamer and is receiving numerous college interests from D1 schools as well as Division II. The Pac-12 and San Diego State are very interested in the talents of Skylar Cook. But let's talk about the offense, a high-scoring offense, a spread offense, utilizing the concept passing game headed by Damian Rodriguez. Last year in the 10-game season, he completed 116 passes on 227 pass attempts for 2,043 yards and 21 touchdowns. And then Charlie Sullivan, many a game he was the player of the week, recognized by VSN as well as his Imperial Valley peers, and he rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, John, exactly 1,136 yards with 16 TDs. A very potent offense. These guys are seniors, they're leaders, they want to win the CIF crown.
Exactly, and not only do Central have these people, but they've got guys like Arturo Estrada. Let's talk about Gavin Marini, who was out getting passes on the outside and taking them down the field.
Last year, Gavin Marini had 30 receptions for 638 yards and 7 touchdowns off the likes of Damian Rodriguez and Hayden Hernandez, last year's quarterback as well, and has since graduated. But Gavin Marini, though, you will see him in the backfield with the occasional pitch out or off tackle runs and on draws, as well as on the receiving end of the passes in this passing concept.
Let's not leave out Zarian Robinson, part of that heir to the Gerald Robinson players back in the 1980s. But Zarian is a sophomore this year, and he's going to be getting the kickoff returns, so we'll see what he can do taking the ball up the field.
Well, John, Darian is now a junior. He missed last season due to Achilles heel injury, and the Spartans certainly missed his talents, but he's back this year. He'll be starting on defense as well as handling the kickoff and punt return duties, but he's a speed burner, and the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So now we have head coach David Peña, who's representing the Imperial Valley League and the Central Spartans. He's been at Central for over 6 seasons, a very successful record. And in the COVID-shortened season, John, they went 5-0, but unfortunately, no CIF playoffs then. It was the spring league. But last year, he led the Spartans to the semifinals, where they lost a close battle to the Scrip Ranch football team that eventually won the CIF crown for San Diego, and then parlayed that into the state championship. Drew wrestling for the Sundevils. This is his 3rd season. They are a very outstanding coach with a good staff and excellent football team. They made it to the semifinals as well in Division 3, and they lost a heartbreaker to the Ramona Bulldogs, and Ramona went on to the CIF championship game after winning that ball game. Their strengths on their team, John, it's a spread offense, and they like to look at their wide receivers and their defensive backs as their offensive force.
So we look at an evenly matched game almost, with Central maybe with a higher rating, but this is going to be an outstanding football game between both Central and Mount Carmel. Elsewhere in the IVL, Scripps Ranch is at Brawley tonight, and that kickoff is at 7 p.m., and you can watch that game on VSN with Will Torres and Ron Rubio. Southwest is at Hoteville at 7 p.m., and Calexico, as we mentioned earlier, will be taking on the second half tomorrow at Imperial High School against the Yellow Jackets of Palo Verde. West Hills will travel to Imperial next week on the 26th.
Well, John, the Spartans rely on the leadership of Damien Rodriguez, wearing jersey number 7 tonight, and number 2, Chris Sullivan, who will be the team captains, along with Gavin Marini and Skylar Cook. An excellent group of leaders. They have the character, John, and they're guiding the younger players, the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, to work hard every practice. And we're excited about the opening kickoff that'll be underway in about 7 minutes.
And Mount Carmel has won the toss, and they'll be receiving first. Imperial Valley College is a proud sponsor of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley High School sports. And we'd like to also thank the El Centro Police Department. A special thanks to Chief Sawyer, Sergeant Henderson, Sergeant Seaman, and the rest of the El Centro PD with partnership with VSN. And by the DOM team. For all your commercial or residential real estate needs, go give Doug or Andrew a call at 760-337-8600. And then we'd like to pause as we honor America and our men and women overseas. We can barely hear it, but it's playing.
Due to technical difficulties beyond our control, there is no national anthem this evening. Thank you.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mount Carmel High School here, the home of the Sundevils, as the Central Spartans out of the vaunted Imperial Valley League come in to take on the 10-2 Sundevils from last season in a home game for the Sundevils as they kick off the 2022 season. Last year, the Sundevils were the league co-champions, and they're coming off their first 10-win season since 1992. Under the direction of Drew Westling in his second year, they experienced a lot of success in that first year. And we're going to honor the flag of the United States of America with an a cappella rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, it's exciting Imperial Valley football. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Sundevil Stadium as the Central Spartans, who have journeyed west to take on the Mount Carmel Sundevils, are ready to kick off and embark on the 2022 campaign. We now welcome the voice of choice, your friend and mine, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
Well, we got a 6 o'clock kickoff tonight, Vic, which is unusual. Normally our kickoffs are at 7, so we're right now the only show in town in the Imperial Valley. So, ladies and gentlemen, as Vic would say, pull up your easy chair, grab your favorite beverage, and are you ready for some football?
Well, that's right, John. Let's talk a little bit about the Sundevils of Mount Carmel. They were the league co-champions last year, coming off their first 10-win season since 1992. They have a new quarterback in Josh Bell, and he managed 37 passes last year in a backup role, but he has some experienced receivers in Ventimiglia, that's Drew is his first name, along with Aiden Smith and Connor Bananal, another wide receiver, as we get set for the kickoff by Miles Rodriguez, number 25, and he'll be kicking off deep to the Sundevils.
Bring it in.
Michael Jones wearing jersey number 5, and I can't see the far one. I think it's Drew Bacavilla.
No, Connor Bananal, number 1.
Oh, Connor Bananal, okay, number 1 and number 5. They're standing inside the goal line, about the 2-yard line, but Miles has displayed a strong kicking leg during the preseason warm-ups here, and so a beautiful night for football, John. It's still sunlight here, the sun beating down here on this artificial turf, a beautiful stadium. They just remodeled it several years ago with an all-new weathered track, very colorful. The Sundevils are in red and gold, and the Spartans are coming with their blue pants, white jerseys, blue numerals, and blue helmets.
He'll squib it up to the 20. Bringing it back to the 30-35, inside of the 37-yard line.
And that was number 23 for the Central Spartans. Making that tackle, that was Ethan Thomas, a junior. So let's get set defensively we'll start out with the offense for the Sundevils as they come out in a spread, no huddle offense, which a lot of high schools employ. Their quarterback is Josh Bell. He's wearing jersey number 17. He'll be joined at the skill positions with Aiden Smith, Javon Kendrick, Samuel Kennedy, the tight end, Connor Bananal, and Drew Fedemiglia. We'll give you the offensive line after this play.
1st and 10, Josh Bell out of the shotgun. Looks to his left, passes caught, number 1. Connor Bananal. Looks like he gets a first down. He'll pick up 11 yards.
And that tackle was by number 53, Israel Rascon, as the Spartans go with a defensive line of number 22, Jared Martin, an outstanding sophomore, Rascon number 53, Michael Fisher, junior, 56, and Leonardo Camarena, 72.
No huddle offense and handing it off to the right side. Number 33.
And immediately brought down by number 2.
That's Axel Enriquez with almost a first down. He'll take it across midfield to the 45.
Charlie Sullivan making that tackle there. No huddle offense doesn't give us much time, John, in between plays.
Now another handoff to the right.
And brought down immediately by number 22 for the Spartans. That was Jared Martin, that defensive end, an outstanding defensive, John. He's 6'3", weighs 220. He put on about 25 pounds from last season as a freshman.
Axel Enriquez on the last carry. Again, this time left side. The Spartan defense is putting a stop on the running game for the Mount Carmel Sundevils here in the first quarter.
Well, the Spartans the defense is looking at a mirror image of their Spartan offense, as it's a no-huddle offense, spread. The quarterback scans the field. He looks at what the defense is lined up in, and they call the play and the blocking assignments there at the line of scrimmage by the center, and it all depends on where the middle linebacker is placed. But look for the tight end, John. Wherever the tight end's lined up, that's where they go with the ball.
They'll go with a Wildcat this time.
And no confusion there.
Colson Montgomery.
As number 56, Michael Fisher, a 230-pound junior at nose guard there to make the stop. So they forced the Sundevils into a punting situation. The ball at the Spartan 45-yard line. 10:18 remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us. I take that back. The Spartans recovered.
They went for it on a 4th and long, Vic. This no-huddle offense is quick. Damon Rodriguez out of the shotgun for the Spartans. 1st and 10 at his own 45. Charlie Sullivan, right side, finds room, crosses midfield and up to the 40. So
Charlie Sullivan with a dive off the blocking of Abraham Barrera and Ian Bell off the right tackle on the handoff from
First and 10, Spartans.
There
Rodriguez.
he is. He's open downfield, John.
Down the right side, incomplete. And that was Gavin Marini, the intended receiver, just off his fingertips.
Well, Gavin Marini got behind defensive back Roman Weicker and had a step on him, a beautifully placed pass that hit his hands on the 10-yard line, but Marini not able to wrap it up. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Mount Carmel 41-yard line.
Rodriguez, Damian out of the shotgun. Charlie Sullivan stretching out to the 34-yard line. He'll pick up 6, and it'll bring up a 3rd and short for Central. Here in the first quarter, 9:31 to go. No score in the ball game.
Charlie Sullivan tripped up by Drew Ventimiglia at the line of scrimmage, but was able to pick up an extra 4 yards, making it 3rd and 6 from the 37 of the Sundevils.
Damon Rodriguez out of the shotgun. And over anxious Mount Carmel defensive end crossing the neutral zone.
And that was number 21 for the Sundevils, Aiden Smith.
And that will be a 3rd and about a yard for Central back in Mount Carmel territory at the 32-yard line.
The Spartans also utilizing a no-huddle offense, John. Spread.
Skylar Cook in motion. Fakes the dive over the middle. Looks like the pass was intended there for Gavin Marini, but too much traffic and it goes incomplete.
Broken up by number 23, Griffin Ramos, so it'll make it a 4th and short, John, from the 34-yard line. Make it the 32-yard line now that the referees are placing the ball. You want to bet the house that Charlie Sullivan's going to get the handoff here, or it's too soon in the game?
Well, we've got doubles, and they're probably keying on Charlie. So Damian Rodriguez with Skylar Cook in motion. Yo-yoing. Charlie Sullivan
gets that first down.
And he'll cross the 30 to the 28.
So, John, in midseason form, you would say, move those chains.
Move those chains for the Central Spartans at the 28 of the Sundevils.
And, John, it looks like we're going to have to review our announcer's manual for the last 28 years.
You know what? We're kind of rusty. It's our first game, Vic. 8:45 to go first quarter. No score, but the Spartans got pretty good field position here.
Well, split to the near sideline is Arturo Estrada, the outstanding sophomore or junior receiver now. Oh, fumble.
Fumble to Gavin Marini, but he'll try to make the best of it and just goes out of bounds. But that was a bad exchange, and Damian Rodriguez is showing his frustration to maybe one of the linemen out there. So it'll be 2nd and a loss now, 2nd and 14.
Gavin Robinson,
13.
number 6, the outside linebacker or cornerback, if you will, in today's jargon, there to break up the play and put the stop on Marini. So a loss on the play, it'll be 2nd and 15. Spartans going right to left on your TV screen. The Sundevils defending the eastern goal.
Damon Rodriguez roll out right. Finds a man wide open. Touchdown Central. And that is number 3 for the Spartans. Sergio Garcia, only a sophomore, putting 6 points on the board for the Spartans.
Well, you know, John Sergio Garcia was one of the recipients last year of the VSN Player of the Game and recognized at the season-ending banquet put on by Will Torres and Ron Rubio and VSN Sports. And one of 3 Spartans as Damian Rodriguez, the quarterback on that play, and Charlie Sullivan, the workhorse here on this opening drive. So we get set for the Miles.
Point after. It's good. And so 7:47 to go. 7-0 Central.
We'll be back with more in a minute on your VSN network.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
That's good.
Ready? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. With 7:47 remaining here in the first quarter, a touchdown pass from Damian Rodriguez to Sergio Estrada for the first score in the ball game, and then the Miles Rodriguez point after. The Spartans lead 7-0 as they draw first blood in this sectional matchup.
Deep kick, Connor Bonanal. And he'll take it to about the 25-yard line.
And he was pushed out of bounds by number 52, Anthony Valladolid. Now that's a name that rings a bell, John, a great-grandfather, dad, and Anthony continuing on in those footsteps.
From El Centro.
That's right. Longtime mailman delivery and delivery man and great family. So here we go. The Sundevils will take over with 7:41 remaining here in the first quarter, down by a score of 7-0. Well, that play fooled me, John. I thought they were both offsides.
Joshua Bell out of the shotgun. Quick toss. But the Spartan defense just smothering the ball carrier.
Well, let's talk about that Spartan defense, John. You got Jared Martin, Israel Rascon, Michael Fisher, and Leonardo Camarena, the front 4. The linebacking crew, and a solid one, Charlie Sullivan, Josuel Rodriguez, and Rudy Lizaola. The defensive backs are Zarian Robinson, Nehemiah Perez, Arturo Estrada, Skylar Cook, the All-CIF returner. A loaded bunch.
Joshua Bell with the empty backfield. Getting his direction from the sideline.
It reminds you of that old prairie dog offense, John, where they all
Right.
look at the sidelines like prairie dogs.
Joshua Bell.
Flushed out of the pocket, John.
And he's brought down for a sack.
And there's a horde of Spartans there. 53, 22, 56, and 2. Charlie Sullivan. 53, Rascon. 22, Martin.
And 56, Michael Fisher.
Sounds like a law firm.
3rd and long for the Sundevils.
Take over, John. I'm going to take a break.
back-
I'm going to have a Snickers and a...
Back at their own
Diet Coke
23. Take a break, Vic. We just started. Joshua Bell out of the shotgun. Scrambling.
Pressured by Jared Martin.
And brought down again. Another sack by the vaunted Spartan defense.
That was number 56 that made the tackle, Michael Fisher, after being flushed out of the pocket by the hard-rushing Jared Martin, number 22, that outstanding sophomore defensive end. So once again, the Sundevils unsuccessful in their second offensive series of the first quarter, and so with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, they're set to punt.
Back to receive is Robinson.
And Drew Bry, number 13, will be handling the punting duty, standing at his own 6-yard line.
End over end. It'll take a Sundevil bounce, and Robinson falls on it.
What was he doing there, John? Just get away from it. Only 2 things can happen, and they're not positive. 1, you fumble. 2, you lose the ball. Well, nevertheless, on the positive side, the Spartan offense will be taking over for their second offensive series with 5:37 remaining here in the first quarter. The Spartans capitalized on their first drive with a 22-yard scoring strike from Rodriguez to Estrada for the first points of the game, and then with Miles Rodriguez with a point after. So here we get set for the no-huddle offense led by Damian Rodriguez and Charlie Sullivan in the backfield.
1st and 10 at their own 44. Central Spartans. Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Sullivan with a handoff. Finds a lot of room right side. 35-30, 25, but he steps out of bounds on his way to the end zone, so they'll spot it right about the 30-yard line.
Pushed out of bounds by Michael Jones, and it was only Jones between him and pay dirt, but Sullivan, with a couple of good side steps and flashy moves, able to get across midfield and get the ball deep into Sundevil territory at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Ball at the 30.
We'll give you the defensive starters for the Sundevils at the conclusion of this play. 5:29 remaining in the first quarter.
Damian Rodriguez. Right side, but looking for receiver. I saw that pass interference intended for number 3, Sergio Garcia.
They're all in numerical order. A beautiful pass thrown by Damian Rodriguez, John.
But the defender was all over him like a cheap suit.
Well, that's right. Close coverage, John. You can't get any closer without putting the pants on yourself and the shirt and overcoat. Nevertheless.
So it'll go against Mount Carmel.
Well, we'll give you the defensive lineup here for the Sundevils. You have Gabe Luttrell at defensive line along with Sam Kennedy, number 2, and Arturo Ruvivar, number 58, along with Eduardo Villa. The linebackers are Colson Montgomery and Isaiah Robinson. They go with a 4-2-5 defensive front.
1st and 10 at the 15. Gavin Marini with a pass catch. And out of bounds inside the 1 yard. Oh,
touchdown.
Wait a minute. Touchdown Central. Gavin Marini with a pass to the outside. Takes it short but sweet and good.
Well, John, the concept utilized by David Pena and carried out to perfection by Damian Rodriguez as they send the 5 receivers out. The one goes deep to stretch out the defense, and then everybody else runs crossing patterns underneath. And the safety valve was Marini coming out right by the line of scrimmage, and Rodriguez picked him, and Marini did the rest.
And it was a bad kick.
And that's unusual because Rodriguez was successful 35 out of 38 point-after attempts last year.
We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for another kickoff by Miles Rodriguez as he gets set to kick to the deep. Connor Bananal and number 5, Michael Jones, standing inside their 5-yard line. Spartans ahead 13-0. Bananal with, he can't handle the kickoff. Picks it up. Go ahead, John.
Well, Vic, he's coming this way at the 10. Stutter steps and tries to go reverse his field. And all that running to take it to the 19-yard line.
Well, it was an exciting 11-yard run, John, as he gets the ball out to the 19-yard line. So the Sundevils, on their 3rd offensive series of this first quarter, have not had any success thus far against this tough Central defense. What say you, John?
Well, they've only gotten to the 45-yard line of Central, and that's it.
What have you noticed about the Spartan defense besides the gang tackling and pursuit?
Well, number 1, they're well coached and they play very well, and they smother around the ball carrier. So it's 5 minutes to go first quarter, 13-0 Central. Joshua Bell under center, out in the gun. Blocked there by number 22 for the Spartans.
Jared Martin, John, that outstanding 6'3" sophomore. And Martin, does that name ring a bell?
Gene Martin.
Gene Martin, and go a little higher.
Lefty Martin.
Atta boy, cowboy. You're in the groove, John. A great athlete, Johnny. We did the VSN basketball game for the championship of the Ivy Imperial Valley League with Calexico, and he was all over the place as a freshman.
A little swing pass to number 2 is caught. That's Samuel Kennedy. He'll take it about up 9 yards.
And I think an appropriate nickname for Martin then would have been the chairman of the boards.
There you go.
So now here he is at the line of scrimmage, controlling the line of scrimmage from his defensive end position.
So a first down for Mont Carmel. They've got the ball at the 29. Joshua Bell out of the shotgun, everybody in tight, Prairie Dog offense.
You know, and speaking of Martin, he goes to wherever the tight end is lined up, on the left or right side. So he's a very mobile defensive player. Last year, John, we at Cal Jones Field, when the Mount Carmel squad came to play the Central Spartans, this is the return match, they had an outstanding tight end and edge rusher themselves in Jaden Virgin, who his stellar play last year earned him a scholarship, a football scholarship to Boise State, where Casey Klein is also a teammate. Casey Klein being from Brawley.
Son of Doug Klein. And a 5-yard penalty against the Spartans will move the ball up. And
it doesn't matter to that defense, John, as they push that forward thrust back. Contact was made at the 38-yard line, but they finally dropped the ball carrier back at his own 35.
Drew Ventimiglia. So second and short at the 38. Joshua Bell hands it off to Drew Ventimiglia, and nothing there.
It was number 40 for the Spartans, Jacob de la Rosa, making the initial contact from his interior defensive line position. On his knees, he tripped up the ball carrier, and that set him up for finally being brought down by his fellow teammates.
3:22 to go, first quarter. Bell's rolling and completes a pass and a first down. And that's number 8. That's Javon Kendrick.
Javon Kendrick.
So a first down for Mont Carmel.
Kendrick running a little curl pattern there and rolling out the quarterback, Joshua Bell, able to make the connection.
They get the handoff this time, but nowhere to go.
That was Drew Ventimiglia that had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. John, that was your favorite song in 1964 by Martha and the Vandellas.
Yeah.
I used to dance at in the kitchen at Mambo's with Tucci and Bruce Bowman.
What I used to be, it was back in the old high school gym during your high school days. So 2:22 to go, 2:32 to go, first quarter. 13-0 Central. Joshua Bell and the Mount Carmel Sundevils. Takes a snap, fakes it, looking for a receiver, can't find anybody, and takes it across midfield. And he'll pick up 6 yards, but is it enough?
Well, he was pressured and flushed out of the pocket by number 32, linebacker Rudy Lizaola, and Bell was able to turn something negative from a deep loss to positive yardage as he crosses midfield to the 49 of the Spartans.
And he can't find any receivers open, Vic. That's why he's got to carry that football.
Well, the Spartan defensive secondary, John, they're like a blanket on these receivers, and this was supposed to be one of the strengths of the Sundevils of Mount Carmel. 1:43 remaining, and the first timeout is called by the Sundevils of Mount Carmel.
Tony.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with 1:43 remaining here in the first quarter. The Spartans 13, the Sundevils 0 as they're faced with a 3rd and 4 from the Spartan 49-yard line.
Joshua Bell.
Going left to right on your screen. And John, you know, I'm impressed with the Spartan traveling contingent from
The
from
Spartan,
the Imperial Valley.
the Blue Faithful. Pass intended to number 21 is incomplete, and that is Aiden Smith.
And it was broken up by that standout sophomore, Jared Martin, as he leaped to change the path of the football, and as a result,
It brings
Smith
up.
could not handle. So
It'll bring him a 4th and about 5. They'll punt the ball from midfield.
back deep to receive, I think, is that number 6, Zarian Robinson?
That's number 6.
Seeing his first action after having a season lost to injury last year.
Only a sophomore, Vic. Bad snap. Almost blocked. They'll get it off. And a roughing the kicker flag. The ball will be spotted
Who was
at
the
the 25.
Who was the over-anxious Spartan? I see Skylar Cook, number 3 for the Spartans. That's Sergio Garcia.
Personal foul.
And number
Roughing
29.
the kicker. See, there was a judgment
Hector
call
Ramirez.
because when the ball is not snapped properly, then the kicker becomes a ball carrier. But apparently, maybe the rules have changed, and so they got the roughing the.
Is it too early for a play review, John?
It may be, but looks like they're taking it off from the return. No, it's a 1st and 10. They're moving it up.
Yeah, the quarterback Bell is still there in shotgun formation
And
as the Sundevils are implementing that spread offense that so many high schools like to use.
At the 34, their best field position yet.
Boom! What a hit there by number 2, Charlie Sullivan, along with number 32, the linebacker, Rudy Lizaola. So 2 big hits put on by those senior Spartans, or Spartan seniors. It'll be 2nd and 10, no gain on the play.
Axel Enriquez felt it that time.
We felt it up here.
Rolling out right. Pass intended to number 22, Drew Ventimiglia, is incomplete.
And he was guarded closely by number 6, defensive back Zarian Robinson on that play.
It'll stop the clock with 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
So it'll be, what, 3rd and 9? 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9 inside the 35-yard line.
The ball's at the 34 of Central. Central defending, I believe that's the western goal.
Yes, the sun's going down in that direction, Vic. It should be. Pass is caught by number 1, Connor Bonanal, but didn't help anything.
And brought down immediately by defensive lineman number 53, Israel Rascon.
Now they'll have to punt the football, or they're going to go for it, Vic, with a 4th and long at the 33.
Well, when you're inside the green zone, John, that being inside the 40, you know, the punting game is kind of obsolete.
Right.
So this 4th down play could serve as a punt if it falls incomplete or it's intercepted. Or the 3rd option, you get a score or 1st down.
So 4th and 9, going for it.
This could be the last play of the first quarter.
The clock is ticking with 10 seconds. Over the middle, and is it intercepted? It is intercepted. Skylar Cook.
Skylar Cook with his first interception of the season, John. 2nd team All-CIF performer last year in San Diego County. And Skylar Cook, once again, showing that he's a man among boys coming into his senior season.
So Central will take over at the 17-yard line.
So Cook, the leader in tackles last year as a junior with 74 total tackles. He had 52 solo tackles and 22 that he assisted on. So the Spartans take over with 5 seconds left, deep in their own territory.
Damian out of the shotgun. Skylar Cook, right flat. And he'll take it up the field for a couple of yards.
And he was brought down by number 23, Griffin Ramos, a defensive back. And that's the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Central 13, Mount Carmel
Esquer Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark Esquer at Esquer Realty, 760-357-9707. Esquer Realty, the mark of excellence. And for the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers and Beer is a place to watch the big game. Great food, great service, Burgers and Beer. And with the recycling now more important than ever, CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative recycling and reuse programs. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation. Tonight's game is brought to you by IV Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor. For all your heavy metal needs, IV Welding is a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network. In El Centro, 482-9353.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Mount Carmel Stadium as the Sundevils on defense, as the Spartans going left to right on your visual screen. They lead after one quarter of play, 13-0. And we welcome the voice of choice, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
Low snap, and the sack on, is that Damian Rodriguez? Yes, unusual. But the Mount Carmel defensive end came crashing in.
And that was number 44, Colson Montgomery, and Gabe Littrell there to make that stop.
A big loss on Central.
So the Spartans are faced with a 3rd and 13 according to the screen. Scoreboard, the ball's at the 14-yard line of the Spartans. So their back is against the wall, lone back in the backfield.
Robinson.
Time called by the Central Spartans. So with a score 13-0, we welcome the voice of choice, Johnny Moe.
Your county supervisor, District 1, Jesus Cachu Escobar, is a proud sponsor of VSN. Jesus Escobar would like to thank his constituents of District 1, and he wishes all the Valley teams a great season. Marianne Valenzuela is your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. Like a good neighbor, she's located at 122 Main Street in Brawley. Call State Farm agent Marianne Valenzuela Fendley at 344-0447 for all your insurance needs. Central with a football, 3rd and 14.
Well, John, this is the first action we're seeing of Zamian Robinson since the COVID-shortened season in the spring of 2020.
Damon Rodriguez looking deep. A man is open, caught. The 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown Central. That's Arturo Estrada with a beautiful pass by Damon Rodriguez. Stuns the whole Mount Carmel defense.
Well, John, that was a 68-yard touchdown pass and run from Damian Rodriguez to Arturo Estrada, a junior, an All-Valley returnee, and one of the recipients of the VSN Player of the Game, recognized last fall at their sports banquet. And now he gets set again for the Miles Rodriguez. Point after, number 14, Gavin Marini with a hold.
High snap. Marini will not make an attempt, and that will be it. It's 19-0 in the second quarter with 11 minutes to go.
So typical first game, John, special teams.
There you go. At Jimmy Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise. A leader in design, development, and delivery. Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all of our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. At Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating at 352-8855. Proud sponsor of Imperial Valley football. Well, we're getting used to the scene where the Spartans are kicking off to the Sundevils.
Well, John, the Spartan offense looks in midseason form, and that's a tribute to David Peña, along with the quarterbacking of Damian Rodriguez, who has a year under his belt as a starter.
Bananal with the return. Gets a tackle. Takes it here the near sideline. Lowers his shoulder.
And that tackle being pushed out of bounds was made by Miles Rodriguez, the kicker. Otherwise, Bananal might have taken it to the house. But nevertheless, the Spartan offense and defense in midseason form, leading by a score of 19-0 with 10:50 remaining here in the first half, as the Sundevils enjoying their best field position to start a drive. As the ball is being placed was there a penalty on the play, or he ran out of bounds at the 34-yard line? So they'll be 1st and 10. They're going right to left. The Spartans are defending the eastern goal. The receding sun is in their eyes, and but we're all set as the Spartans go with Jared Martin, Rascon, Fisher, Camarena, Sullivan, Rodriguez, and Lizaola. The defensive backs are Zarian Robinson, Nehemiah Perez, Arturo Estrada, and Skylar Cook.
Joshua Bell takes the handoff.
He's being pressured.
And it's dropped again.
Dropped by number 40. Jacob De La Rosa. As now the Spartan defense headed by Joey Denton sending in fresh troops to replace the first quarter standouts that the Spartans, who shut out the highly vaunted offense of the Sundevils,
Second and 11. Second and 11 spread offense. Quick pass to number 1, Connor Bananal.
And he's brought down immediately by number 20, Braden Mayo.
And so no gain on that play. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Mayo, an outstanding defensive back, tenacious in his tackling. And here he's spotted out at the cornerback position, going man-to-man with number 3, Riley Valacruz.
Everybody in tight.
So what do you think of the snow huddle offense, John?
It has its advantages. Catches people off guard, but it doesn't seem to be panning out well for Mount Carmel, as Joshua Bell is brought down for another sack.
Brought down by number 53, Israel Rascon, after he was flushed out of the pocket.
But he did gain some yards.
Now, is conditioning a factor here? Because, the players look to rest, during the huddle where they can get the information on what the next play is going to be. And here they don't have a chance to catch their breath. As we get set for a Bry punt, standing back at his own 30-yard line is
Robinson.
Zamian Robinson.
Low snap.
Damian Robinson, correction.
Robinson will field it at the 32.
He splits 2 defenders and is pushed out of bounds by number 23, number 23, Griffin Ramos.
So Zarian Robinson will bring it up to about the 39. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Central with 8:36 to go, second quarter, 19-0.
So the Spartans come out on their 39-yard line, 8:36 remaining here in the second quarter. Rodriguez at quarterback, joined in the backfield with Charlie Sullivan. The wideouts are Sergio Garcia, Arturo Estrada, Skylar Cook, and Gavin Marini. At center, we have Brennan Havens, number 73, a senior. The guards are Jimenez and Osuna, tackle Santiago, and Jonah Huerta.
Rodriguez and Sullivan in the backfield for Central. Marini in motion. Penalty flags.
An encroachment on the Sundevil side of the ball, so that'll be 5 yards for the Central Spartans. Taking the ball to the 44-yard line from the 39. So, John, there's a lot of familiar names here on this Spartan squad. Jonah Huerta, the grandson of Rudy Huerta and son of Rudy Jr. And then you have Brennan Havens. And we'll get to the other players in just a minute. And going back to the 60s, you have Gavin Marini, the grandson of Joe Marini from Hopeville. And they were CIF champions in 61.
The Vikings?
The Vikings.
Bad snap. Sullivan picks it up and tries to make do, and he'll lose a couple.
John, but he wins the respect of the defense of Mount Carmel, as it took 5 players to bring him down.
And it could have been a fumble had he not acted quickly. He's got a knack for that football. So it's a 2nd, and now 7.
Well, Johnny's a football player. It doesn't matter what position you put him at. He's going to excel and shine. And on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. So the Spartans at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Damian Rodriguez, another low snap, but he makes do again. Skylar Cook, left flat. Takes it across the 45 to about the 47. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4. It'll be 7:40 to go first half, 19-0 Central.
Initially brought down by Drew Ventimiglia, number 22. You know, even though we may be in mid-season form, John, we can't pick up the numbers on the Carmel Sundevils.
There's not enough contrast.
Well, and their jerseys, the way they fit real tight, they're snug, and the numbers are run real close together. There's not much separation. The Wildcat, Sullivan, up the middle, gets that first down, John, as he bowls his way. So it looked like he picked up what was a 3rd and 2 situation. He does get that first down as he crosses midfield. Well, he's right at the 50-yard stripe. The ball on the far hash mark in front of the Spartan bench, in front of David Pena, as he hand signals the signs to his quarterback. You've got Fletch Mavity as well. They're assisting.
The 3rd, Fletch Mavity, the 3rd. 6:43. 2nd quarter. Damian Rodriguez. Pressure. Lets it go. Throws it behind. And that's number 9. That's Arturo Estrada again.
Still running.
And he's on his feet at the 35-30. Penalty flags. And knocked out of bounds inside the 20.
Now was there?
Everybody threw a flag at that one.
I know, it's like a raining graffiti here.
Confetti,
I'm sorry. Anyway, was it a block behind the back by one of the Spartan offensive players to free?
It could have been. It could have been an eligible player downfield. It could have been a lot of things.
Well, that happens on the spread. You know, when the quarterback starts to scramble, the linemen, have to shed their blocks, thinking that he's heading upfield, and then he decides to throw at the last second. Nevertheless, an exciting play here for the visiting Spartan fans, as well as the hosting fans from Mount Carmel. I mean, when you see a good football play, you want to acknowledge it.
Exactly. So the referees are still conferring down there.
So defensively in the backfield for the Sundevils, they go with number 11, Roman Weicker, as a defensive back, along with Griffin Ramos, number 23. Michael Jones is wearing jersey number 5, and number 20 is Ronald Percy. The linebackers are Colson Montgomery and Isaiah Robinson, as the Sundevils implement or employ a 4-2-5 defense.
Personal foul against the Spartans. It'll be a 15-yarder.
And their defensive linemen are Gabe Littrell, Sam Kennedy, Arturo Ruvivar, and Eduardo Villa. Correction, it's Justin Ruvivar.
So all that gain for naught, as they'll spot the ball back at Central territory at the 47. But it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 47. 1st and 15, 13. Cook in motion. Sullivan with a handoff. Finds a lot of room and flips over into the 40 stopped at about the 38, 39-yard line.
Another first down.
They'll spot it at the 40 with 6 minutes to go, first half.
So he picked up 13 yards on that carry, John. He came into the game from last season with 1,183 yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground. And he had 7 touchdowns receptions for a total of 21.
1st and 10. Damian and Sullivan in the back. Damian looking over the middle. Pass intended
for Skylar Cook.
Incomplete.
Brought down by Griffin Ramos. Offensively, the Spartans are going with Rodriguez at quarterback. The running back is Charlie Sullivan. The receivers are Garcia, Estrada, Cook, and Marini. The offensive line anchored by Brennan Havens at center. The guards are Nicolas Jimenez and Eli Osuna. The tackles are Israel Santiago and Jonah Huerta.
So 2nd and 10 from the 40. Damian Rodriguez takes the snap, rolls out, shoots it.
That looked like face mask right there.
Intended for Sergio Garcia.
Well, you know, there's two things that you have to admire about Damian Rodriguez. He's looking into the sun as he's rolling out or scanning the field, and it's hard to pick up your receivers because they look like shadows. But his passes are pinpoint, John. And
they're quick. They're on a frozen rope.
Yeah, very impressive thus far. So the Spartans are faced with a 3rd and 10. The ball at the Mount Carmel 40-yard line. Spartans lead 19-0, 5:21 remaining here in the second quarter.
Trips to the right. Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Over the middle, Marini's there. Incomplete. And he was hit at the point of impact by Drew Ventagmiglia.
Well, John, the passes are there. They're in the receiver's hands. But give credit to the defensive backs of the Mount Carmel Sundevils as they're hitting hard, bone-jarring, ball-shaking tackles that are knocking, the ball loose. And so give credit where credit's due as the Spartans come up empty here with a 4th and 10 as they get set for a punt from Miles Rodriguez, the punter standing at his own 47-yard line.
And timeout is called. Havens Landscaping, for all your rock materials needs, for your landscaping, give Havens a call at 352-6735. By Intercare. When it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. And by Reach Medical Response Service. When seconds count, you can depend on Reach Medical Transportation Service. And let's not forget the IID, reminding you to never swim in canals and to conserve energy during peak hours. IID is your public water company providing reliable water service to the Imperial Valley 24/7. And the IID energy is focused on providing reliable energy as well. The IID, your Imperial Irrigation District.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5:14 remaining here in the second quarter. We get set for the Miles Rodriguez punt after the Spartans on the 3 and out.
Excellent punt. That'll take it in.
It hit his foot, John, the Mount Carmel.
Right at the one? No, it's a touchback.
Didn't it deflect off the...
It looked like it did. It looked like it sure wasn't the Spartan?
No, it was a Sun Devil. This is what
Let's take a look at it again.
Okay, well, we have... Yeah, it goes off his foot. Well, they don't allow instant replay in high school sports.
5 minutes to go for second quarter, 19-0 Central. Joshua Bell.
The Sun Devils taking over at their own 20. They've got their backs to the sun. The sun emerges, the sunlight, just as they cross midfield, the 50-yard line.
Over the middle, incomplete. Number 2, the intended receiver, Samuel Kennedy.
Guarded closely by number 8 of the Spartans, Nehemiah Perez. So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 20. 4:59 remaining here in the second quarter. 19-0 Spartans.
Joshua Bell, empty backfield. Looking here to the near side. Pass intended to Gavin Robinson, incomplete, and guarded very well by Brandon Mayo for the Spartans.
So Brandon Mayo making his presence felt here in the second quarter as he's guarded closely the intended receiver on pass plays initiated by Joshua Bell that have fallen incomplete as he's proving his worth to be here in the vaunted defensive backfield of the Central Spartans.
Joshua Bell, 3rd and 10. Right side, finds a man and picks up 7 yards.
He was carrying that football like a loaf of bread, John. He was lucky it wasn't knocked out of his possession, but he's able to twist his way for a pickup of about 7 yards. So it'll be 4th and 2 for the Sundevils as it looks like they're going to go for it with 4:30 remaining here in the half. Down 19-0 as Bell barking out the signals. And now the Sundevils decide to call a timeout as the clock was winding down.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Letterman and Bros. For all Letterman jacket needs serving Yuma and Imperial Valley, call them at 760-693-5034. Letterman and Bros. And by Top Notch Barbershop. Visit Big Chris at Top Notch at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro for a one-of-a-kind haircut. And by Burgers and Beer for the best burgers in town. Visit them at 260 North Imperial Avenue. And by Driscoll's Surf, Skate, Embroidery, and Silk Screening, where you can find Ratfin merchandise located in El Centro at Driscoll's, 1470 State.
Well, John, with that sun going down, that little ocean breeze coming through this canyon here.
I love it, man.
Man, it feels great. And here you try to talk me into bringing my sweatshirt.
You're desert rats. Bringing, tráete la chamarra, mijo. Our tech brought his. It gets cold up here.
Oh, John, weren't you wearing Ugg boots? Would you step
a
up?
high snap to the punter. And hit Charlie Sullivan. Whoa.
What a hit. Did he knock him into the end zone?
It knocked him at the 1.
At the 1 yard line. So an excellent recovery for the Central Spartans as they will take over inside the 5 yard line. It'll be short and goal from the 1 yard line for the Central Spartans when action resumes here with 4:19 remaining here in the second quarter.
So that was an excellent defensive rush by Charlie Sullivan to give the Spartans good field position. So 1st and goal at the 1.
Brennan Havens leads the Spartans out of the huddle. Was there movement on the offensive line?
It's a false start against Central.
Well, so they'll be pushed back to the 6 yard line. It'll still be 1st and goal, but from the 6 yard line. But with the running talents of Charlie Sullivan and Damian Rodriguez passing ability, along with Zarian Robinson, who we should see some action from soon. Wildcat with Sullivan running up the middle, and he gets most of the yardage back that they were penalized, John. I think he got inside the 3 yard line. What say you?
Well, Charlie Sullivan has got to be one of the best players we've seen in this game so far. I mean, he's all over the place. You got him on offense, you got him on defense, you got him in clutch situations, and he answers the call.
Well, the pressure's put on right now in the rush defense of Mount Carmel with Colson Montgomery, Isaiah Robinson, and Justin Ruvivar asking to put up a stellar front on the defensive side.
And they're snapping the ball to Sullivan. And there he goes, touchdown Central from 4 yards out. The Spartans score again.
You know, what a turn of events, John. Last year, the Spartans lost 32-17 to the visiting Mount Carmel Sundevils at Cal Jones Field. But here they look like they're in midseason form, the Spartans that is, as they came out of the gates under the tutelage of Dave Peña and his staff, and they're really prepared.
Absolutely. Now they're going to go for two. Sullivan again will take the snap, lowers his shoulders, and gets the two-point conversion on the right side. So it's 27-0, 3:34 to go second quarter here in Mount Carmel. We'll be right back with more in a minute on the VSN network. Are we set? Well, the Spartans, it's been all Spartans for the first half of the game with 3:34 to go, Vic.
Well, John, let me offer my sincerest apologies to the family of Braden Mayo, the outstanding defensive cornerback for the Central Spartans, as I've been mispronouncing his first name. But we'll make sure we get it correct in the second half with 3:34 remaining here in the second quarter.
That's Connor Bonanal at the 20. Brought down by number 31. Or is that 32? 31. We don't have him on here. So Mount Carmel will take over on downs at their own 20-yard line.
So with 3:28 remaining here in the second quarter, the Central Spartans racing out to an early 27-0 lead. The befuddled Sundevils here trying to find a chink in the Spartan defense as they come out under the guidance of Joshua Bell.
And Drew with the ball carrier. Ventimiglia.
There you go.
I'm sorry, it was number 33. That is Axel Enriquez. These two, they got 33 and 22, run the ball alternating times. So it'll be a 2nd and 10. I'm sorry, 2nd and 2. He picked up 8. Little counter. Throws it, passes caught to number 2. That's Samuel Kennedy. Gets a first down. He'll take it to about the 45-yard line.
Brought down by number 9, Arturo Estrada, with Nehemiah Perez, number 8, assisting on the play.
And that's 33, the ball carrier. And that Axel Enriquez.
And Israel Rascon, the interior defensive lineman, coming out across from midfield to make that tackle, pushing him out of bounds. So
the Sundevils have been moving the ball the last couple of plays. They're down inside the 48.
The Spartans may bend, John, but they don't break. Oh, almost intercepted.
But the pass was intended for number 2, Samuel Kennedy, a little high above his head.
And that was Arturo Estrada, who couldn't believe the gift basket provided to him by Bell, and he can't find the handle as a ball goes through his hands. So it'll be 3rd and 4 from the 48 of the Spartans.
Joshua Bell hands it off.
You know, John, you have to be impressed.
Axel Enriquez.
You have to be impressed with the lateral team speed of the Spartans here on defense, as they're quick to cover. So a runner may get 2 or 3 yards, but the Spartan defense is there to wrap him up, encircle him, and bring him down. So a 4th and 1, John, another short down situation on 4th down.
And they're going for it with a little over 2 minutes to go. They get it and a little more as they hand off the football. Axel Enriquez.
So a much appreciated first down by the Sundevils here, or the Sundevil faithful, as it's a sea of deep red here, John. Their colors are red and gold. Very impressive.
Aiden Smith on the first and goal.
They look like SC. They look like Uni High that now is called Cathedral Catholic.
A little play action. And
double coverage there with Skylar Cook, the second team All-CIF defensive back.
Pass intended for Drew Ventimiglia.
Ventimiglia.
I'll get that right before long.
Give you a couple of glasses of red
Chardonnay.
wine here.
Ventimiglia. So 2nd and 10. The ball at the 42. 1:45 to go second quarter. 27-0 Central.
Okay, 2nd and 10 with 1:45 remaining here in the second quarter. And there they go with that Prairie Dog offense, John, looking to the sideline for the play. Spartan defense.
Joshua Bell completes a pass to Aiden Smith. Will get a first down. He'll take it to the 30. He'll pick up 12.
Brought down immediately by number 9, Arturo Estrada, as the Spartan secondary in a prevent coverage, allowing the passes underneath to be completed.
Joshua Bell over the middle. Passes caught there. Trevor Tramapope. We've got a timeout called by the Central Spartans with 1:10 to go. Esquer Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark Esquer at Esquer Realty. Call him at 760-357-9707. Esquer Realty, the mark of excellence. For the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro, open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers and Beer is the place to watch the big game. Burgers and Beer. And by CR&R Incorporated. With recycling now more important than ever, CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative recycling and reuse programs. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation.
And John, we'd like to thank all these sponsors for supporting Imperial Valley football, being provided by Valley Sports Network.
Empty backfield for Joshua Bell and the Sundevils.
Short yardage situation, 2nd and 2. The ball at the 22-yard line, second quarter. The late Vin Scully would have said deuces are wild here.
Joshua Bell looking to his left. A man is open. And guarded very well by number 9, Arturo Estrada.
And the intended receiver there was number 7, Trevor Taumeo Piau. So, John, try that tongue twister.
The intended receiver, Tamuapau. But that's Artie Estrada for Central.
What do you mean, Tamuapau? You got to pronounce every vowel there.
Yeah, there's about 20 vowels. 3rd and short. Oh, the defense for the Spartans really held it this time as they allowed no gain on the play. Number 33, Axel Enriquez, stopped by Jacob De La Rosa.
Jacob De La Rosa, that senior linebacker, coming through to make that tackle as the Spartan defense stiffens up and now forcing the Sundevils to take another timeout with a short and 4th.
Tippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Tippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
What's the matter? What is it? Halftime interview, Josh Weiss.
Fourth and short. Fake the dive over the right side. Pass is caught. Trevor Tamapel. Tamu-i-pe-au.
Only a freshman, John.
And we'll get a first down. They'll move the chains. It'll be right at the 10-yard line.
Catching that pass between Estrada and Skylar Cook. Good for a first down with 40 seconds remaining.
Releases it in time and completes another pass.
To number 21, Aiden Smith. Knocked out of bounds immediately by Charlie Sullivan, along with number 32 for the Spartans, Rudy Lizaola.
22 seconds and counting. And they'll spike the ball to stop the clock. As they don't have any time. Well,
has Mount Carmel used up all their first half timeouts?
No, they've got 2 left, according to the scoreboard. Central has used them all.
Well, I'll be so. That's what that TOL stands for.
Timeout left.
Modernization.
Joshua Bell looking quickly, incomplete, intended again for 22.
Broken up by Nehemiah Perez.
Drew Ventimiglia.
So, John, do you think it could pass a spelling bee on all these last names?
6 seconds to go. Will Mount Carmel make it into the end zone? They're down inside the 10.
With 6 seconds, John, they're looking for that quick 6, pick 6, you name it.
They're at the 7. Joshua Bell decides to keep. No, he throws and fades it out. Incomplete. Intended for Drew Ventimiglia. And that's the end of the first half. Central 27, Mount Carmel 0.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today 760-337-8600.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Yeah? So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sundevil Stadium. Here is the Central Spartans with 3:03 remaining in the half. Time show, we lead by a score of 27-0 as we introduce Josh Wise, the athletic director for the Central Spartans. Josh, thanks for coming over from the Imperial Valley and joining us here. I know you're in heavy demand. KXO wants you, everybody wants you, ESPN, you name it, and CNN. So tell us, what's your take on 2 quarters of play with the Central Spartans?
Our offense, they're blocking for the quarterback and the running back, and we're getting chunks of yards and we're scoring. The defense, they're gang tackling, and quite frankly, they're tackling better than the other team. So the blocking and the tackling, it's football. That's simple, and we're doing it well right now.
Well, they're doing it well because I attribute that to the coaching of David Peña and his outstanding staff. The players look like they're in mid-season form. But then when you talk about the players, a lot of veteran players, but stellar players, either making All-CIF like Skylar Cook or All-Valley like Damian Rodriguez, and along with Estrada and Garcia, etc. And with the addition of Zarian Robinson coming back after that leg injury last year that cost him the majority of the season, and the outstanding infusion of defense by Braden Mayo there in the second quarter, particularly on that pass coverage defense. So what can you tell us how this all has attributed to the development of the Spartan program?
You know what, these coaches, we took that loss to Brawley last season. We had a good run in the playoffs, and then when the season came to an end, it's like, you know what, we got to get after it in the weight room, and that's where it started. The boys been in there working hard. The coaches have been getting there with them during spring ball and passing league, 7-on-7. And here we are. It's all paying off. And, Mount Carmel, they beat us last season. It was a tough loss. And here we go, one season later, and we're dominating on all levels of the field. And they look great.
Well, when you refer to last season, they came down to Cal Jones Field, the first game of the season last year, led by Jaden Virgin, an All-CIF tight end and edge rusher, that parlayed that into a football scholarship to Boise State, where he's joining Casey Klein from Brawley, that's also at Boise State, playing the same positions. This year, the Spartans have rebounded, so that summer development and continuing here to 2 quarters of outstanding play, what do you attribute that to?
You know what? I see a lot of these young guys stepping up. They got some experience last year, but it started off with Bubba Garcia, the sophomore. He started off with a nice touchdown grab, and then Artie Estrada Jr., he looks like they can't tackle him. Unfortunately, he had that one play, one-handed catch. He must have broke about 4 or 5 ankles. Fortunately for that block in the back, they brought it back. And then Jared Martin on the defensive line, he keeps disrupting it. He's playing defensive end, and he's getting in the backfield. He's forcing the quarterback to make bad decisions, and these young guys are stepping up. The offensive line and the defensive line are getting after it, and that's what it's all about, blocking and tackling, and we're doing it better.
Well, you talk about Jared Martin, who's only a sophomore, and plays like a seasoned veteran. You have Braden Mayo, a defensive back, only a junior that comes in and plays stellar defense. And then you couple that with Charlie Sullivan and that All-CIF defensive back Skylar Cook. That makes a potent combination on the defensive end that puts a lot of pressure on opposing offenses.
Yeah, Charlie and Skylar, man, those guys are some dogs, and we're excited for them. They had that heartbreaker last year, but this year they want it, and I think that hopefully they want it more than everybody else. You talk to them, they'll tell you. They've been putting that work in. It's a big unit. Every guy here matters, and they all count. It starts with practices. They play together, and they play for the community of Central, and it's paying off.
Well, you know, after 2 quarters of play, the Spartans look like they're prepared to go into a deep CIF run. Granted, they always want to win the bell game at the end of the season, but I think they're setting their goals a little higher and wanting to win a CIF championship in San Diego and then possibly parlaying that to a state run.
You know, we're going to take it one game at a time. I was telling Carol Buckley this might be the toughest schedule I've ever seen since I've been alive, and that's been for 30-some years now. And you know what? One game at a time. We got Palm Desert next week. They beat us last year. We had a chance, just like we did against Mount Carmel last year, and here we are. We're showing them that we're ready to step up, and hopefully we step up next week too. But we got to finish this game first.
Well, let's talk about that as far as scheduling is concerned and power ratings. And you as an athletic director, in conjunction with your coaching staff, having to schedule these games a year or 2 years in advance, what do you look for when you're scheduling opponents?
We definitely want to play opponents that are going to get us ready for the playoffs, right? So we're in the Division II. I think we only play 2, maybe 3 opponents who are Division III or IV. So everybody's in Division II, I think about 5 of the opponents, and one of them is Division I, probably going to be open division, which is modern day. And we're just trying to get them ready. We're trying to make sure that we got a chance in playoffs. Granted, the goal is we want to win league, but we also are looking at the bigger picture. We want these boys to make a deep playoff run as well, and we're getting them ready with this tough schedule.
Well, modern day, a returning state champion in their division is ranked number 3 in San Diego County, and I think they're in the top 20 in the state of California. So when you schedule these opponents to play, what is the main challenge that you want for your Spartan team to be able to come out after 4 quarters of play against these opponents?
You know what? I'll tell you what. The one thing these boys need to understand is that when they line up on that field and they're going against the other opponent, they're going up against a high school kid, right? A teenager just like them. And they got to understand that they're probably working hard, and you got to put in that work. And when you put in that work, you'll fear nobody. And I think we're about to score a big touchdown. Oh, we just missed it.
Okay, last but not least, leave the color commentary to me. Last but not least, is this home-and-home series going to continue with Mount Carmel, or is it just a 2-year deal?
So the head coach, I believe his name's Drew. I might be wrong. Drew Wessling. Him and Coach Pena, they have a relationship that goes beyond our matches here at Central and against Mount Carmel. They have a relationship, and I can see it moving forward again and again and again. These 2 coaches love talking with each other. Drew has a great personality. He's fun. He's energetic. Coach, he cracks Coach Pena up. I've heard him on speakerphone. I was talking to him at the beginning of the game. We hope to make this a ritual, definitely.
Like the outstanding.
And we got a touchdown.
Like the outstanding facility at Cal Jones Field with a STEM building on the east end of the goal. What's your impression of this beautiful stadium at Mount Carmel?
The stadium is awesome. You know what? Our track team competed here twice. They had a invitational plus CIF, so I got to come out here and experience it with the boys. Charlie Sullivan, Artie Estrada, they were out here running track, and it's amazing. And then, man, I can't tell you enough about this Red Sea of Mount Carmel student section. Really hoping that our student section could come and get really get involved as this student section. Man, they're amazing. So and we expect that. We expect a great showing.
Well, I had a hip replacement in late April, and I was concerned if I'd be able to navigate these steep cement bleachers, the steps, and I'm glad we got here 2 hours early, because it took me about that long to navigate the stairs here just to get up here. But it's a beautiful complex. We're excited about promoting and providing this game, and we'll resume the live action. We'd like to thank you once again for being our halftime guest. It was well worth the wait, and continued success, not only in football, but all the fall sports and the remainder of the school calendar year.
Thank you, and I just want to tell you thank you for being here and helping represent the Imperial Valley. I know you got other games coming up in the air, other opponents, and I know the communities around the Imperial Valley really, really treasure what you guys are doing. I just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you guys.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a shout out from your grandfather, Danny Santillan. He always says to give you a big hello every time I see you. So Big Daddy, here he is.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, John, so fill us in what we missed.
With Charlie Sullivan, it was all Charlie Sullivan, that series of play, but now we've got a return by Connell Bonanal. Will take it all the way back to the Spartan 39. Charlie Sullivan caught a pass, ran it up here, then he caught another one and just took it all in, and that was it. And it was like clockwork.
Okay, so the score is now 34-0 as we get underway here in the third quarter, as the nice run back by Bananal to the Spartan 41-yard line as they'll take over going right to left, and the Spartans defending the eastern goal.
And Josh,
the sun has gone down, John. It's football weather all the way.
Joshua
Skylar Cook with the interception, John.
Throwing it out where nobody's there, but Skylar Cook crossing midfield and out of bounds inside the 45.
Number 2, Samuel Kennedy, the tight end for the Sundevil offense, pushing Skylar Cook out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Otherwise, it would have been Katie Barthador. He would have taken it to the house.
And we've got a player out there with a cramp. So
with 10:57 remaining here in the third quarter, the interception by Skylar Cook is second of the ball game and second of this young season. The Spartans will take over with a lead of 34-0 over the hosting Sundevils.
And the Mount Carmel Sundevils had a great return there on the kickoff with Connor Bonanal, but then a devastating interception just blows out their momentum, and the Spartans have the football.
Well, you have to remember the gang tackling, the swarming defense of special teams, as well as the defense of the Central Spartans. You know, they're quick to the ball, John. They may bend, but they don't break, and it's a team concept in defense, evidenced there by all converging on the kick return, and as a result, the turnover costly by Mount Carmel, and the Spartans are once again on the move as we have an injury timeout with an injured player at midfield.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor. For all your heavy metal needs, Ivy Welding, a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network. Ivy Welding in El Centro, 482-9353. Your county supervisor, District 1, Jesus Cachu Escobar, is a proud sponsor of VSN. Jesus Escobar would like to thank his constituents of District 1, and he wishes all Valley teams a great season. And by Marianne Valenzuela Fenley, your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. Like a good neighbor, she's there, located at 122 Main Street in Brawley. Call State Farm agent Marianne Valenzuela Fenley at 760-344-0447 for all your insurance needs. And now we're back to the action with the Spartans at the 45-yard line.
So Damian Rodriguez at quarterback. He's joined in the backfield by number 6, Zarian Robinson. Flanked to his right, number 8, that is in motion.
Damian will keep the football. Couldn't find a receiver and goes toward the left on the outside and knocked out of bounds.
Well, you know, John, I'd like to see
5 yards.
I'd like to see Damian Robinson, Zamian Robinson.
Zarian.
I'll get it straight. I'm butchering all these first names. Anyway, I'd like to see him get the football out in open space because he has electrifying speed and quickness, and he can really highlight this game with a field in the open territory.
Beyond the linebackers, it's basically open space for him. And fakes the dive, looking for Marini. And he It's incomplete. It may have hit the ground first. So Gavin Marini goes incomplete.
An outstanding effort by Gavin Marini nonetheless, as the Spartans are now faced with a 2nd and 3rd and 5. The ball at the 40-yard line of Mount Carmel. Man, I shouldn't have had that Diet Coke at the half. I'm getting all tongue-tied here.
It's going right through you, and a penalty flag. It'll go against Central.
Either that or I can blame it on the Snickers bar. John,
That's a big sugar rush, Vic. So it'll go back to the original line of scrimmage at the 45. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Spartans.
But you know, John, that penalty is to no avail, as that just gives the Spartans more room to navigate and operate upfield, particularly with this explosive passing game. Martin in motion.
Robinson will take it up the middle, grabs a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
Running behind the blocking of Israel Santiago and Nicolas Jimenez, along with center Brennan Havens there anchoring that offensive line of the Spartans. An outstanding line that also features number 50, Eli Osuna, and number 76, Jonah Huerta, the grandson of the Bulldog great Rudy Huerta.
Class of 71, I believe.
71, he was a freshman when I was a senior, and he was a man among boys then.
And still is now.
We all addressed him as sir.
Damian Rodriguez finds an open man. Number 9, that is Artie Estrada.
Well, so you're already coming in with the nicknames.
That's right. That's Mr. Weiss told me that's what he likes to be called, so we're going to call him Artie. And he'll take it to the 34-yard line. So a first down, Vic.
That's right, John. They're picking them up. They're moving those chains, as you like to say. So the ball at the 34-yard line of the Sundevils. That ocean breeze feels awesome, John.
We had a strong sun today. I'd like to thank my cameraman today, Sonny Moreno, pinch hitting today for Panchito Garcia. And there he goes, Robinson, right side the 20, the 15, and into the 11-yard line.
So a pickup of 10, 20, 23 yards, John, for Zarian Robinson. You know what the problem is with me? Is that I'm not wearing my reading glasses, and you have number 6,
Zarian and Damian.
And then number 7, Damian Rodriguez. And then you throw in a little bit of Nehemiah Perez, and you've got a Scrabble board sheet that's ready to go.
1st and 10 at the 12. Sullivan is back in there. Sullivan with the handoff and take it in the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Well, John, that running lane was made possible by number 73, Brennan Havens, who took out 3 defensive linemen and opened up that wide open. You could have put a semi through there, along with Nicolas Jimenez, to give that outstanding running lane to Sullivan. And Sullivan doesn't need much room to take advantage of. So the Spartans now faced with a 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
7:39 to go, 3rd quarter. 34-0 Central.
So both teams starting to substitute freely now here in the second half to give their backup players some much-needed game experience here in the first game of the season.
Cook in motion.
Marini.
Oh, that's Marini. And that's Zarian Robinson again to the 4.
You know, I had the pleasure of being at the Spartan Carnival last Friday, where the Spartan offense, even though they kept wraps on them, you couldn't hide the skill set of these players like Marini, Robinson, and Estrada, as well as the passing ability of Rodriguez. And everybody knows what Charlie Sullivan can do.
So now we're faced with a 3rd and goal at the 4.
6:45 remaining
I'm sorry,
here
third
in the third
and
quarter.
2. 3rd and 2. Quick pass. Caught. Number 9, Artie Estrada. Looks like a touchdown, but there's a penalty flag.
Well, you know, Artie Estrada was also one of the 3 Central Spartans that were recognized by Valley Sports Net last year at their awards season-ending banquet as a player of the game during last year's season. Many of these players throughout the Valley could have won multiple times, but VSN, along with Will Torres and Ron Rubio, opted to be more, spread the wealth, so to speak.
So a touchdown there for Artie Estrada and the Central Spartans.
So
it was a face masking call against Mount Carmel, which will be taken off or possibly declined.
So once they make the adjustment at the scoreboard, it'll be 40-0 with 6:34 remaining here in the third quarter. So what's your take, John, being out here in the outdoors?
I love it. This is great. This is
because the press box would have been too cramped for all of us.
It's too tight, and Carol Buckley and John Driffel are in there, and you and I would have been cramped up like sardines in there. But we're out here. We're out in the open. We see the crowd.
But John, after 28 years, that would have never cramped our style.
Never. So the point after is good. It's 41-0. And I am under the impression now a running clock may be voted on. Mount Carmel has not been able to do much. They've had some shades of greatness, if you will, but they can't get across that goal line.
Well, John, all the viewing fans are commenting on the film ability shown by Sonny the Bunny Moreno here, as the fans are getting a great picture of Mount Carmel Stadium and the outstanding play between the Central Spartans and the hosting Mount Carmel Sundevils. Friday Night Lights, John, you couldn't ask for more.
6.5 to go, third quarter. And then next week, we will be, I believe, at Central again with Palm Desert or Point Loma, one of those two. We'll find out in just a bit.
Now, what about tomorrow, John? Aren't we going to be doing something special with Calexico and
we'll be calling the second half. Squib kick picked up inside the 5. Taken out and bringing it down the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35. Number 5, Michael Jones. And still on his feet. And just like that, returns it for a touchdown as Central is stunned.
Well, Michael Jones, that senior, was just waiting for the reps to be taken off him as he started out 1 yard in from the end zone, started out to his right, and then cut across the middle of the field. And here at the 40-yard line of the Mount Carmel, in front of their bench, turned on the afterburners and showed some blazing speed as he cut into Spartan territory. Spartan kickoff coverage team looked like they had him cornered at the 20-yard line, but he managed to zig and zag and reverse his field and cut it back to his right and take it to the house. So with 6:17 remaining, 41-6 as we get set for the point after attempt by Ethan Deinhardt.
And it's blocked. And it'll remain 41-6 with 6:17 to go, third quarter. We have some updates around the Valley.
Blocked by number 40, Jacob de la Rosa, the grandson of Cheyenne de la Rosa, otherwise known as Reynaldo, of the beautiful de la Rosa family.
In the Brawley Scripps Ranch game, it's tied in the first quarter at 7. And at the end of the first quarter with Southwest and Hauteville, it's 7-6 Southwest.
Well, John, that was an exciting kickoff return, regardless of if it's at the high school level, college level, or professional level. There's nothing more exciting in football than a kickoff return next a punt return for a TD. It gets the crowd going and electrifies the home fans that haven't had too much to cheer about here with 6:17 remaining in the third quarter. And as a result, the Sundevils finally get on the scoreboard as they cut into the El Centro lead 41-6. And we're still in the third quarter, midway. What say you, Johnny Moe?
Well, I think Central was on their heels in this last kickoff return, and weren't expecting that touchdown return by Michael.
Well, one thing you can't be, John, is complacent on special teams, because
Michael Jones.
One mistake like that, or one guy takes some time off, that could result. Excellent coverage by the Sundevil kickoff coverage team as they bring down Gavin Marini at the Spartan 23-yard line. A short kickoff return, so with 6:09, the Spartan offense will take the field here in the third quarter, leading comfortably 41-6.
So Central back at their own 22-yard line. And a little perturbed here at the latest turn of events. Charlie Sullivan, I believe, may be back in the game. He is, and he'll get the handoff. He goes right up the middle, takes it to the 40 from the 22, a pickup of 18 for Charlie Sullivan.
That was leadership right there, Charlie. John, as he said, give me the football, and I'll show the opponents what Spartan football really represents. As he bowls his way up the middle and brings it out to excellent field position at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 18 on the play.
We'd like to shout out to Butch Morales from the quarterback training camp here in the Imperial Valley. Thank you, Butch, for sending us those messages. We appreciate all the work that you do for all the quarterbacks in the Imperial Valley.
Butch, it's evidenced here in this game with the accurate passing of Damian Rodriguez here in midseason form, and it's only the first game of the 2022 campaign. Congratulations on a job well done.
Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun for Central. Robinson the ball carrier, but it's stopped and possibly a false start or delay of game.
Well, that's good that here with 5:08 in the third quarter, the Spartan offensive coordinators are wanting to give Robinson some repetitions there at the tailback slot just to get his game legs back under him. Spartans lead 41-6.
So a 5-yard penalty, they'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line of Central.
Robinson still alone back in the backfield. Next to Rodriguez, the quarterback.
Robinson looking for some room. Will take it to the 40.
Now, if Marini would have held his block just a split second longer on the defensive back, he might have sprung Robinson free there at the line of scrimmage, but instead he's brought down, and it'll be a 2nd and 11. The ball just shy of the 40-yard line. Make it the 39.
In the San Diego Vincent game in the first quarter, San Diego 21, Vincent 0. So Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Gavin Marini in the yo-yo. Hand off. Charlie Sullivan couldn't get anywhere that time.
Well, let's give credit to that Mount Carmel defense led by Colson Montgomery and Isaiah Robinson, the middle linebackers, along with the outstanding play at the line of Justin Ruvivar and Gabe Luttrell, as they've been trying to deal with the outstanding blocking by Brennan Havens and Jonah Huerta on the offensive line for the Spartans.
So a 3rd and 14 for Central. Damian Rodriguez rolling, shooting, incomplete. Pass intended by the visitor bench there.
You know, the Spartans put 4 receivers out there on that play, John, flooding the defensive secondary, and all of them were open. Now, Rodriguez, as a quarterback on their concept read offense, he looks deep first. If he's open, just go for the bomb. Otherwise, he starts checking down. It's particularly at the high school level, it's very difficult to defend. And but yet this Spartan offense is on all cylinders as they've put up 41 points thus far, and we still have 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter with another full quarter left to play, that being the fourth.
4th and 14. Spartans will punt.
Miles Rodriguez standing at his own 23-yard line.
And it will not be returned, and it'll be downed inside the 40 at the 39. So Mount Carmel will take over. At Jimmy Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise. Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. At Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air at 352-8855. Josh Bell looking over the middle. Almost intercepted there as a crossing route did not go the way it should.
That was number 23, Ethan Thomas for the Spartans, a junior.
Michael Jones, Vic, all the way down, fumbles the football.
And Braden Mayo there, he might have recovered as there's a pileup at the 43-yard line of the Spartans.
It looks like he got it back. Michael Jones.
A break for the Spartans as Jones looked like he was going to show his speed once again as he got to the outside flank, but the Spartan defense, bending but not breaking, John, was able to collectively regather and make that stop.
It gives Mount Carmel a 1st and 10. Josh Bell in the pocket, shoots it. Pass is caught in the middle and brought down inside the 30. Number 7, that's Trevor T., a freshman.
John, give credit where credit's due. Ta-u-ame-o-pe-i-a-u.
We're going to have to spell these names phonemically, Vic. A little flare pass, caught. And that is number 22, Drew Ventimiglia.
Knocked out of bounds on a hard hit by
33, Axel Enriquez.
By Braden Mayo, saving a touchdown there for the Spartan defense. And with 2:02 remaining, the Mount Carmel offense gaining confidence on every play.
2nd and short at the Spartan 20-yard line. Looking deep, a man is open, pass is caught. Javion Kendrick.
So Javon Kendrick gets behind the Spartans secondary as there was a miscommunication in the secondary defensively for the Spartans. And as a result, with 1:57 remaining here in the third quarter, the Sundevils score once again. So the score now 41-12 as we get set for the point after attempt by Drew Bry.
He had the last one blocked. The set, and this one is too.
Blocked again.
And so with 1:57 to go, third quarter, 41-12 Central. We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network. We're back here. Mount Carmel kicking off to the Central Spartans late in the third quarter. 41-12 Central.
Drew Bry with a kickoff, a squib kick.
Oh, and it is hit up by Braden Mayo. Judged it incorrectly, and it could go back to Mount Carmel.
Well, he seemed to lose his balance there, John, as he was backpedaling, and the bounce caromed the other way, and as a result, I think the Spartans did recover. You know, John, you have to be impressed with this Red Sea, which makes up the student body, all in red T-shirts with gold trim. They ran out at the beginning of the game, and I thought it was the football team with all the noise that was being made. It was about 500 students. I thought, man, look at the size of that football squad. But it's the cheering section, and they haven't lost any enthusiasm. You would think they were winning by 30 points.
Damian Rodriguez pressured, shoots it, incomplete, intended for Sergio Garcia.
Some confusion there on that pass route between Sergio Garcia and number 4, Matthew Mills, as they were both running in the same direction. And usually that's not the case in this David Peña offense, where everybody separates by at least 5 to 10 yards in their routes so that the quarterback can have an option to go to deep, coming back to the line of scrimmage. So they usually run in 5 to 15-yard intervals.
2nd and 10 for the Spartans at their own 35. Low snap, Charlie Sullivan, and stopped in his tracks immediately.
Not fooled in that play was number 21 of Mount Carmel, Aiden Smith, who was blitzing from his outside defensive back position. He read the play perfectly in the timing and broke into the Spartan backfield before Sullivan could gain any momentum and get to his second and third step. As a result, a loss on the play. The Spartans now faced with a 3rd and 14, 1 minute, 16 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Central 41, Mount Carmel 12.
Damian Rodriguez looking deep over the middle. Intercepted at the 40-yard line by number 22, Drew Ventimiglia.
Atta boy, John. Great enunciation as well as pronunciation.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor, serving the geothermal and all industrial facilities in the Imperial Valley. Ivy Welding, a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network, located in El Centro. Call Fred at 760-482-WELD.
So with 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter, another turnover by the Spartans as a swing pass thrown out to number 7. That's Trevor Tuamuepeau. There, the freshman, outstanding receiver for the Devils as he takes the ball out to the 43-yard line.
2nd and short. Fired up is this Sundevil
Crowd.
offense and crowd. Overthrows to number 22, Drew Ventimiglia.
I think the quarterback, Bell, was surprised at how wide open Ventimiglia was and overthrew him. It'll be 3rd and short. The ball at the 47-yard line, make it the 48-yard line.
In the second quarter, Hauteville 13, Southwest 7. Josh Bell hands off and hands it off. That looks like Aiden Smith crossing midfield into the Central 40-yard line.
Well, see, now with this pass and run combination, John, they've got the Spartan defense temporarily on their heels, and now it doesn't matter what they run. They've been pretty successful running and throwing the ball.
Again, the quick pass to Drew Ventimiglia is complete, and he'll pick up 5.
Well, that was a quick hit there on the short button hook pass.
We probably won't get to this play because it is now the end of the third quarter, and the start of the fourth.
So after 3 quarters of play, Central 41, Mount Carmel 12.
Whippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for the fourth quarter. As the first play, the shotgun formation, Josh Bell tossing it out to the flat. Good enough for the first down as they were faced with a 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line, and they advanced the ball deeper into Central territory as we welcome back the voice of choice, your friend and mine, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
Connor Bonanal with the reception there gives the Sundevils a 1st and 10. Josh Bell over the middle. Another completed pass.
And that was number 7, Trevor Tuameopeau. The freshman receiver, John. He's been seeing a lot of action in this second half.
2nd and 6. And this Mount Carmel offense has gone pass happy. Javon Kendrick on the reception, getting a first down and getting closer to the Central red zone.
Well, and these receivers are getting more comfortable and, more importantly, more confident in running their pass routes. And the quarterback, Bell, who only attempted 37 passes last year in a backup role, is quickly warming up to the task here in the first game of the season.
Screen pass to Aiden Smith, picks up a yard. 2nd and 9.
Smith coming out of the ball game as the spread offense of the Sundevils with triple receivers here split out to the near side.
Josh Bell shooting it out to Drew Ventimiglia, goes incomplete.
So a 2nd and 9. Go ahead, John.
10:36, just giving the time. 10:36 to go in this football game. 41-12 with Mount Carmel getting closer to the end zone. They're down 41-12.
So the Spartan defense needs to regroup, John, show some maturity here and character, and put a stop to this offensive movement.
Josh Bell going deep. A man is open and complete. Looks like it was intended for number 8.
Who was covering on that play? Number 2, Charlie Sullivan?
Javon Kendrick. Charlie Sullivan, no. Looks like number 9, Artie Estrada.
Once again, John, you're in midseason form, eyes like a hawk.
Charlie Sullivan has the green shoes, the fluorescent green shoes. So, what the call is, by the referee, they declined the penalty.
So what is it, a 4th and 9?
It was an ineligible man downfield, and that is declined. It'll now be 4th and 9.
Declined by the Spartans. 4th and 9, the ball at the 19-yard line. 10:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. Central 41, Mount Carmel 12. And so here they come with that Prairie Dog offense looking to the sideline for the play.
Throws under pressure, and it looks like it was picked off and tipped by, and 29 for the Spartans, Hector Ramirez.
But it was number 6, Zarian Robinson, that made that hit, jarring the ball loose and allowing Ramirez to make that interception.
So momentum is lost for the Sundevils as the Spartans take over.
The Spartan defense, particularly their secondary, John, rising to the occasion. It's almost like that blanket defense you'd see on South Preston Drive. Tucci guarding Marcos Ortega.
Indeed. So way back at their own 12-yard line are the Central Spartans. Sullivan with a handoff coming this way. Slipped up at the 16-yard line.
I just noticed Sullivan's shoes, John. You're right.
Sometimes it's hard to see the numbers, but when they have a article of clothing that makes them stand out, that makes it easier to identify. So 10 minutes to go in this football game, 41-12. Central Spartans.
So the ball at the 17-yard line. The Spartans heading from west to east, right to left on your TV dial.
Damien Rodriguez with a low snap. No, that's Charlie Sullivan running the Wildcat at the far end. He's down at the 35, 40, 45, 50. He could go all the way. Touchdown Central. Charlie Sullivan.
From the 17-yard line, an 83-yard touchdown run by Charlie Sullivan, that outstanding All-Imperial Valley League Defensive Player of the Year, as well as on standout on offense, electrifying the Spartan faithful on the visitor side of beautiful Mount Carmel Stadium with that electrifying and outstanding 83-yard touchdown scamper.
47-12 as the Spartans go for the point after.
And John, you picked up that cue from the late Vince Scully. Let the crowd tell the story. The roaring of the crowd, like the Kurt Gibson home run.
There you go, 1988. Miles Rodriguez bats snap. He'll try to get it and does get it through. So 48-12.
Speaking of baseball, that was like a low line drive kick. Just barely cleared the crossbars. Go ahead, John. Take it away.
At Jimmy Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise. A leader in design, development, and delivery, Sanders Incorporated is a proud sponsor of VSN. At Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as having the right equipment. Our York-trained professionals will provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and expert analysis. That's Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating in El Centro. As we're getting set now for the Central kickoff, they're up 48-12.
Well, John, the Charlie Sullivan 83-yard touchdown run hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the Red Storm. Here, the student body faithful as they're still on their feet cheering every play.
And that was number 48, Raymond Hurani. So he'll take it into Spartan territory where, oh, wait a minute, they're going to spot it at the 50.
John, I'll spot you 5 vowels.
Our Ronnie Jr., Raymond. So a 1st and 10 now at midfield for Mount Carmel. Quick pass, complete. Looks like Jones taking it to the left side.
A little dump and run there by Carmel in front of the Spartan bench as they're able to capitalize and earn a first down on that first down play, advancing the ball from the 50 to the 40 to the 39 of the Spartans. The ball in the far hash mark, right in front of, directly in front of the coaching staff and brain trust of the Central Spartans.
Josh Bell. Oh! Picked off.
And that was number 22,
Jared Martin.
Only a sophomore, John.
Couldn't hang on to that ball, though. It went right through his arms. Or hands, I should say. It was right there. 7:19 and counting.
In 7 games last year as a freshman, he had 21 total tackles, 14 solos, and 7 assisted. So he's really matured as a young football player here, starting off his sophomore season.
Josh Bell scrambling, but connects over the middle. Number 7, Trevor T., and will pick up 7 yards. Josh Bell, left side. Number 7, Trevor T., gets a first down and more as he takes it into the 20 at about the 19, but there's an injured Spartan on the field.
Well, this balanced attack on display here in the fourth quarter of the Sundevils is showing some life and a lot of promise here as an injury timeout is called, as number 53 of the Spartans looks like he's suffering from a leg cramp. Here, the first game of the season, that's Israel Rascon, one of the interior defensive linemen for the Central Spartans.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Imperial Valley College, proud sponsors of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley High School sports. And by the El Centro Police Department. A special thanks to Chief Sawyer, Sergeant Henderson, and Sergeant Seaman, and the rest of the El Centro Police Department with the partnership, that is, with VSN. By the Dom team for all your commercial or residential real estate. Give Doug or Andrew a call at 337-8600. By Ojeda Industries, Tony and Patricia Ojeda, serving the Imperial Valley with all your industrial and agricultural needs, located in Brawley, 1698 Jones Street. By Havens Landscaping in El Centro at 352-6735. And by Intercare. When it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help you with locations throughout the valley. So a 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel. Joshua Bell looking over the middle, finds a man. He'll complete that pass. Number 8 is Javen Kendrick. So we'll pick up 6 yards, bring up a 6 and 4, maybe 6 and 5.
You know, John, I'd be remiss here, the first game of the season, the outstanding officiating by this officials crew representing San Diego County.
The handoff to 33, scores a touchdown. Johnny Silva. No, I'm sorry, 33.
Put on your glasses.
Axel Enriquez, touchdown, Mount Carmel.
All right, an excellent run. Like, where has this guy been? It reminds me of that joke of the centipede that was still in the locker room tying his shoelaces. It finally made it out to the in the last quarter. Anyway, an outstanding run as he carved his way through the Spartan run defense, extending the point total for the Sundevils to 18 as they're going to go for 2.
And looks like someone was jumping off sides.
Well, anyway, getting back to the officials, John, you know, this year there's been an officials shortage throughout San Diego County and Imperial County as well as throughout the state. So many of the games, because they don't have the 5-man, let alone 4-man crews, some of the football games, when there's 3 or 4 home football games scheduled on the same night in the Imperial Valley, they'll have to move one game either to Thursday or to play it on Saturday, because the maximum games they can cover is 3.
So half the distance to the goal. The 2-point conversion looks good. And it is now 48-20 with the Spartans still on top, under 6 minutes to go in this football game.
You know, last year the Central Spartans lost at Cal Jones Field, the first game of the season, to the Sundevils 32-17. And so here they're reversing, leading 48-20. But you have to be impressed with this student body here right below us, as their enthusiasm, you know, they're cheering like as if they were ahead. And as they used to say at Texas A&M, that extra man on the field is the stadium roar by the student body.
They bring a different element. It's kind of collegiate, if you will, because student sections and college stadiums are a big part of the spirit of the game.
And John, how do you develop that school spirit? What attributes to the solidarity behind the cheerleaders, their classmates, and getting everybody to respond in kind?
I think winning helps a lot. I think if you win some ball games and or close ball games, and I think that helps. I think pep rallies and spirit in the community also are a big part of this. Squib it down the field, and there's nobody there to return it as number 8, that's Nehemiah Perez, falls on it way back inside the 10.
Now, what about the paraphernalia and the souvenir T-shirts and baseball caps and sweatshirts that all, not only the adult fans, but the student fans, they're all wearing? It's like a sea of red, as Sonny called it, the Red Storm.
No, that you got to have that too, because the colors are very important. It shows that you have school spirit and
solidarity,
and you root for your team through thick and thin. You got to hang with them, you know. So the Spartans way back at their own 10-yard line.
As Vinny would say, I'm with you.
I'm with you. Damian Rodriguez, is he in there still? Yes, he is. Charlie Sullivan. Having a hard time, but getting 5 yards up the field.
Well, running behind the blocking of Brennan Havens and Nicholas Jimenez, trying to navigate his way through the interior rush defense as he picks up 5 tough yards to get the ball out to the 15-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 5, 5:01 remaining here as the clock keeps winding down. Central hanging on to a 48-20 lead in an exciting and explosive offensive game being displayed by both teams. A real crowd entertainer, if you will. There have been a lot of highlights, John.
Robinson going to the right, picks up about 4, not quite enough for a first down.
Well, John, I saw my first pancake block of the season. Jonah Huerta, number 76, just pummeled and flattened out the defending lineman in front of him as the running lane was opened up for the Central Spartans. So it'll be 3rd and a short 1. The ball at the 19-yard line. The clock keeps running. 4:12, 4:11.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Reach Medical Response Service. When seconds count, you can depend on Reach Medical Transportation Service. Charlie Sullivan in the backfield. He'll get that wildcat and take it right up the field. But gets a first down. However, they'll move the chains.
Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is the sole property of VSN, the Valley Sports Network. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the owners is strictly prohibited.
And the IID reminds you to never swim in canals and to conserve energy during peak hours. The IID is your local public water company providing reliable water service to the Imperial Valley 24/7. And the energy is focused on providing reliable energy to everyone in the Imperial Valley.
There he goes, John.
Robinson. And he'll pick up a yard.
Well, that was an exciting 1-yard pickup as he ran north and south before he started heading up.
And that's fine
east.
because, you know, you want to take time off the clock and let's just, you know, play conservative football now. This game is in the bag. 2 minutes and 20 seconds and counting.
So what did Sonny refer to as the crowd? Red Sea or Red Storm? Red Sea. Okay, there they go. The sea is waving. The seas were angry, my friend.
The seas are angry. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Damian Rodriguez talking to his players. The clock is ticking. He may get a delay of game. He'll keep it and is brought back. And somebody will be calling a timeout, I believe. Central will call a timeout. Next week, tomorrow we're going to be doing the Calexico game
At Imperial High School.
At Imperial High School against Palo Verde.
Would you mind explaining that to the viewing audience?
I wouldn't mind at all. What happened yesterday was there was a blackout in Palo Verde High School in Blythe, in the city of Blythe, but specifically at Palo Verde High School. Lightning struck and knocked out a transformer. With 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, Calexico and Palo Verde were tied at 7. So they're going to pick up right where that scene left off, and they're going to play tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
At a neutral site.
At the neutral site, which is, in this case, Imperial High School.
And
Simpson's Shamimoto Stadium.
And VSN fans will be able to watch that game on VSN.
So 3rd and 10 from the 25. Damian Rodriguez. Robinson to the right will take it to the 32. Pick up about 7. Looks like a injured player.
Well, it might be another cramp situation, John. That's usually commonplace during the first few games of the season. More typical in warm weather areas, but conditioning is a factor.
Right.
Plus hydration.
And next week, Valley Center at Brawley will be on VSN North, and Point Loma at Central will be on VSN South. So Vic and I will be at the Point Loma Central game. Ron and Will be doing the Valley Center at Brawley. I've got an update for Hopeville, 20 over Southwest 7, 20-7, Hopeville at the half.
And Hopeville had to rebuild this year because I believe they lost about 22 seniors from last year's outstanding squad, particularly the majority of their backfield.
Well, there was like a family affair back there, right?
All right, they were all cousins. You had Hilfiker, you had Donovan Johnston, you had the Eiton boys.
But you had something like that similar when Southwest went deep into the playoffs with Youngers and Sycon.
And Cordova, Justin
Cordova. And now they've got the Youngers, who's the quarterback, is only a sophomore for Southwest.
His name is Cameron.
So a lot of families deeply rooted in the Valley, generations and generations playing football. And it looks like the Spartans may take a knee here. Maybe not. I could be wrong. No, they're going to give it to Sullivan. Sullivan will go to the right side.
And he gets a first down.
And now they may take a knee. That was a 4th and short.
Well, that bus ride back home for the Central Spartans, John, will be an enjoyable one because there's nothing like the thrill of victory here after any game, but particularly starting the season off, which the Spartans expect to be very successful throughout the 2022 campaign. They've certainly fired off an opening warning salvo saying the Spartans are back.
Right, and Mount Carmel being in the same division as the Central Spartans. So that bodes well for their ratings. That bodes well for how they look when they get into the playoffs.
And Mount Carmel finished with a 10-2 one-loss record last year, losing in the semifinals to the Ramona Bulldogs. And so they're not necessarily rebuilding, but this was an outstanding game, tremendous sportsmanship. The officiating was terrific and fair on both sides of the ball. You couldn't ask for more, John.
We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we invite John Moreno for the closing commentary after we thank our sponsors.
We'd like to thank the Imperial Valley College, the El Centro Police Department, the Dom team, Ojeda Industries, Havens Landscaping, Intercare, Reach Medical Response Service, the IID, Letterman and Bros, Top Notch Barbershop, Burgers and Beer, Driscoll's, Esquer Realty, CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation, Jesus Escobar, County Supervisor, District 1, Ivy Welding and Mechanical with Fred Baeza, Marianne Valenzuela Fendley, your State Farm Insurance Agent, Jimmy Sanders Incorporated, Architecture and Engineering, and Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating with Cesar Rodriguez. Vic, we've got to close up this game and an outstanding performance by the Central Spartans tonight.
It was an outstanding performance by both the Central Spartans and the Mount Carmel Sundevils, who hosted this opening game of the 2022 campaign. And both teams were in mid-season form. The Spartans started out hot collectively on offense and defense and jumped out to an insurmountable lead, 21-0, and then they expanded it to 27-0 before the offense started clicking for the Sundevils in the third quarter as they started to mount a couple of plays in succession that they were successful, mixing the run with a pass. Josh Bell felt more comfortable as the quarterback. He was the backup last year on their 10-2 one-loss team that went to the semifinals in CIF in Division II. But let's talk about Damian Rodriguez, the stellar quarterback for the Central Spartans. He was accurate, on point. Some of his incompletions were not because he overthrew or misfired on his targets, but some of the Spartans had trouble hanging on to the well-placed passes. And then the running of Charlie Sullivan and Darian Zamian, Zapian, Robinson. You can correct me later. But it was a total team effort collectively, and the Spartans seemed to enjoy playing smash-mouth football when it was expected, and yet they were explosive on offense and entertaining on defense.
Well, you know that a lot of credit has to be given to the offensive line for the Central Spartans because They gave Damian Rodriguez time to throw. They opened up holes for Charlie Sullivan, for Zarian Robinson, and you can't forget Artie Estrada, who caught those long passes. So this was truly a team effort by the Central Spartans. They came in this game, coming out of the heat. They came to Mount Carmel with only one thing in mind, and that was to get a victory and to redeem themselves from the loss of last year.
Well, it was stellar play by the Spartan offensive line, as you mentioned, opening up those quality style holes for the running backs and providing the necessary pass protection in their passing game. And kudos go out to their stellar center, Brennan Havens, along with guards Eli Osuna and Nicolas Jimenez, and their tackles Israel Santiago and Jonah Huerta. They were consistent, they were protective of their quarterback, and they off the ball, John, on run plays that they looked very cohesive and well coordinated and a well-oiled machine.
And that's right, and a lot of credit goes to their line coach and their head coach for making sure that the line executes. If your line executes, then other things can happen, and those other things can be good things.
Well, John, I'd like to also mention two players that set the tone for the Spartan defense at the outset of the game. At the line of scrimmage, it was number 22, Jared Martin, that outstanding defensive end, only a sophomore. And then manning and calling the defensive signals in the secondary, and from his linebacking position, he was all over the place, and that was Skylar Cook. Last year, he was a second-team All-CIF San Diego section, and he picked up where he left off, John, as his leadership was evident throughout the game.
Well, we look forward to calling more games this year. Next week, we're going to call Central again as they're hosting the Point Loma Pointers out of San Diego tonight. But tomorrow, catch us at the Calexico Palo Verde game. We'll catch the second half that was stopped due to inclement weather in Blythe, California. Any final comments on tonight's game, Vic?
If tonight's game is any indication of what type of season we're going to have broadcasting on VSN, man, John, I can't wait for the next game and the games that follow after that, as this was something really exciting to see and enjoyable to broadcast.
And we'd like to thank all of you viewing in tonight, from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night. This is the Valley Sports Network. For Vic Carrillo, this is John Moreno saying good night. And tomorrow at 6 p.m., catch us from Imperial High School, where the Calexico Bulldogs and the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets will finish the game. Thank you, and so long.